gentlelady from New York, has reason to believe that there is a homicidal maniac amongst us. If they do, they probably would have brought a gun into this room, whether or not there is a law. And I would challenge them right now to present their evidence, name the names, and present the evidence before such a catastrophe confronts us.
Will the gentleman yield?
Yeah.
While I am not here to impugn the character of any individual member of this committee, I do believe that the performance demonstrated has shown
Who do you not trust to bring a firearm into a committee room or anywhere else?
I believe that from what I've witnessed, the competence of some members may be something that I would be willing to question.
I think you should give us names before the sun goes down, because we're all in great danger if you're correct. But if you're going to name names, I'd like to present.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her Democratic colleagues entered a House Natural Resources Committee hearing ready to make their case against what they viewed as threats to Second Amendment rights. But what they expected to be an easy opportunity quickly turned into a much tougher confrontation. Instead of getting the straightforward exchange they anticipated, they faced strong resistance and arguments that challenged their position head-on. Let's roll the tape.
That the security of any member here is compromised by having another member of Congress, a highly vetted individual, be able to carry a firearm according to their Second Amendment rights or constitutional rights and defend themselves. First of all, Republicans didn't incite that. I mean, it's horrible rhetoric for you to keep this up.
As our chair, you have authority over this committee. You are responsible for the conduct of this committee. You're responsible for the safety of this committee as it pertains to what we enshrine in our rules. And when I heard earlier some individuals asking if you believed or if the chair believes whether members of Congress should be permitted to bring a firearm into this committee, I heard an answer that was essentially, this is duplicative, the House rules are what they are. But members have very different interpretations of these rules. They challenge these rules. And I think it's very, very important as our chair to understand what your specific interpretation of this is. Does the chair believe that members of Congress should be able to bring firearms into the Natural Resources Committee or not?
The chair believes that members of the Natural Resources Committee should follow the House rules and the guidance by the Capitol Police.
Yes, and the House rules, members have different interpretations of what those rules are. I need to know, for a sense of my own personal safety, what your interpretation of the House rules are as it pertains to this issue.
I believe that would be a question you should take up with the House Administration Committee, and they do have a Members' Day, as all committees do.
So am I?
It's pleading the Fifth Amendment.
I see. So, so we are seeing that that the chair, who is responsible for enforcement of these rules, does not have a specific interpretation of whether firearms should or not be permitted into the committee, or has the committee not consulted House admin on the House administration's interpretation on these rules?
The chair's position is that we will follow the rules of the House.
Okay. I'll have one follow-up question. Has this committee been in communication with the House Administrative Committee about what the conclusion of these rules are?
The committee has not been in consultation with the House administration because this is an amendment that's not necessary. This will be the only committee in Congress that has this amendment. The only time this has ever been in the rules was when it was put in this committee in the last Congress.
So just in summary, the decision as to whether or not the chair believes that firearms should be permitted in this committee is determined by House admin. But the committee has not been in touch with House admin as to whether this should or should not be allowed. And so therefore, we're just going to leave this ambiguous?
I believe it's up to every member of the House to follow the House rules. And I'm sure you can visit with House admin staff at any time.
Will the gentlelady yield for a moment?
One moment. I do want to reiterate the point of liability. I think that if we're in this point of having to just all take our safety into our own hands, then does the chair believe that members of Congress should also be pursuing legal avenues in order to protect ourselves as well?
The chair believes that's an issue to take up with the House admin, and the chair also believes that we should be focusing on the issues that this committee is chartered to focus on.
I agree. Thank you very much. I yield.
Now, will the gentlelady yield?
Just yield a little bit of
Yes.
time before?
Yes.
By show of hands, we just had members of this committee indicate that they do plan to bring guns into this committee room.
No, said you asked if we would want to.
I also
said
then
planned.
asked who feels
Committee
so
will-
threatened in their safety that they would need to bring guns into this committee room.
That's not saying that anyone plans to.
Okay, so the indication was in the affirmative when that question was asked. So, Mr. Chairman, to
Many
simply
members were
say,
not taking part in the farce. Okay.
simply say it's up to
Voting
every member to interpret
The member
rules.
reclaims his time.
When you
The
have
committee will be in order.
when you have reason to believe committee members right here intend to bring weapons into this committee room, and Mr. Chairman, we're entitled to your interpretation of the House rules. You need to tell them that that's either okay or not for the safety and security of this committee.
Mr.
And I
Chairman?
yield back to the gentlelady.
I would also just make a request that if this, if the amendment by Mr. Huffman fails, perhaps it would be for the purpose of transparency that at the start of every
Gentlelady's
committee,
time has expired.
we ask who is carrying a firearm.
Any other member
Chairman?
wish to,
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. McClintock, you're recognized for 5
Hank, I
minutes.
just wonder if the gentleman from California or the gentlelady from New York has reason to believe that there is a homicidal maniac amongst us. If they do, they probably would have brought a gun into this room, whether or not there is a law. And I would challenge them right now to present their evidence, name the names, and present the evidence before such a catastrophe confronts us.
Will the gentleman yield?
Yes.
ThanI believe it's a
Courtesy, by the way, you didn't give me, but go ahead.
It's a mischaracterization. While I am not here to impugn the character of any individual member of this committee, I do believe that the performance
Of course you
demonstrated
are.
has shown
Who do you not trust to bring a firearm into a committee room or anywhere else?
I believe that from what I've witnessed, the competence of some members may be something that I would be willing to question.
I think you should give
Thank
us
you.
names before the sun goes down, because we're all in great danger if you're correct. But if you're going to name names, I'd like you to present the evidence as well. And if not, then we should draw our own conclusions.
Will the gentleman yield just a bit? Sure. First of all, I don't think any member of this committee should have a weapon in this committee room. I believe that's the only reasonable interpretation of the House rules, but what we have heard today, I think reaffirms the concern that that's not how everybody sees it. Some members either aren't interpreting the rules right or think they don't apply to them,
If
and
the
that is
gentleman
cause
doesn't
for
wish to
concern.
carry a firearm,
And
I invite him not to carry a firearm.
I would just say in addition that this notion that we're all responsible, vetted individuals, there's nothing to worry about, is pretty cold comfort when we have members of this institution who it turns out weren't so well vetted. We don't really know a lot about each other. And we're finding new and interesting things about some of our colleagues every single day. So, thorough vetting is cold comfort, sir, and I'll yield back.
I would simply, again, invite the gentleman, if he has an accusation to make, then to make it. Otherwise, I think we're all free to judge the seriousness of his position.
Gentleman yields back. Does anyone else wish to speak on the amendment? If there's no further discussion, the question is on the amendment offered by Mr. Huffman. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it, and the amendment is not agreed.
Let's break down what happened. AOC and her Democratic colleagues came into the hearing with a familiar argument, relying on intense rhetoric, interruptions, and emotional appeals to suggest that allowing lawmakers to exercise their constitutional rights could create a dangerous environment inside the committee room. But Tom McClintock challenged that argument directly. Instead of getting pulled into the emotional back and forth, he demanded something much more concrete: evidence. If Democrats genuinely believe that a dangerous individual or serious threat was present among their colleagues, then they should identify the person and provide specific facts to support the accusation. His point was simple: serious claims require serious evidence. If you're going to portray fellow lawmakers as threats to public safety, vague scenarios and speculation aren't enough. You need facts that can actually be examined and challenged. When pressed for that evidence, however, the discussion shifted back toward hypothetical situations, interpretations of the rules, and concerns about what could potentially happen. That allowed McClintock to keep the focus on the central question: where is the proof? Meanwhile, Republicans such as Lauren Boebert defended their position, arguing that members of Congress should not be treated as criminals simply for exercising rights they believe are protected by the Constitution. The confrontation ultimately highlighted a much broader disagreement. Democrats emphasized the potential risks and consequences of allowing firearms in the congressional environment, while Republicans focused on constitutional rights, individual responsibility, and the need for concrete evidence before restricting those rights. And that is what made the exchange so intense. Rather than simply arguing over political talking points, both sides were forced to defend fundamentally different views about public safety, constitutional protections, and the limits of government authority. If you think political arguments should be settled with facts rather than speculation, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more breakdowns. What did you think of McClintock's response? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.